Shalom Aleichem and welcome to the DHC, the Daily Halachic Corner. We're now in part 3 out of 4 parts on preparing for Pesach that is on a Motzei Shabbos and Erev Pesach on a Shabbos like this year, 5781. So we've now reached Shabbos. What do we do on Shabbos? Eating chometz stick on Shabbos is something which you can't really do because it's Erev Pesach. You're not allowed to eat chometz until after a specific hour. And what do you do with the kelim? You can't wash them because you don't need them on Pesach itself. The best thing to do is to eat kosher Pesach food. So therefore you can use your Pesach kelim. That is the best advice. Also, you can order from a catering in disposable throwaway kelim. You can have kosher Pesach food and then just throw everything. Much neater, much tidier. Doesn't leave any kelim in the sink. But what do you do about the bread? We've got to make hamoitzi. What do you make hamoitzi on? According to Sfaradim, it's much easier. They can eat matzah ashira, which is called egg matzah, which means where the flour has been kneaded with eggs or with fruit juice, and therefore it is not chometz. Why? Because Sfaradim eat matzah ashira. They eat egg matzah all through Pesach. So they can eat it now on Erev Pesach. They can use it both for the night Suda, for the morning Suda, and for Shalom. For Ashkenazim, it's much more problematic because Ashkenazim do not eat matzah ashira on Pesach. So what's the best thing to do? The best thing to do for Ashkenazim is to buy a kind of bread that doesn't crumble, like for example a pita. You put it in a plastic bag. If you're, for example, eating in the lounge, you go into the yard. You eat there, you make their hamoitzi, you eat the pita, making sure that all the crumbs stay in the bag itself. You then tie the bag, leave it there, go into another room where you finish your kosher Pesach meal. You're also allowed to bench there according to Responsa Cheshev Vayfor, Part 3, Chapter 10. Even though you made hamoitzi in one place, you're allowed to make Birkas Hamazon in another place. Now, after the second Suda, you're supposed to make sure before the end of the 5th hour, you take all the bread that's remained, all the chometz, you crumble it and throw it down into the toilet, or you throw it into the public dustbin, which is in the street. Not into your private dustbin, into the public dustbin. Now, Ashkenazim have got a bigger problem about Shalom. There are 2 customs that Ashkenazim do on Shalom. Unlike Sfaradim, who can also eat egg matzah on Shalom, for Ashkenazim, some of them will not eat matzah or anything that is mezoinus whatsoever. They'll eat meat or fruit, etc. Or, another advice is, you take the morning Suda and you split it into 2. Now, because everything has got to be done early in the morning, since you've got to finish eating the chometz until an early hour, therefore, in the book Seder, Erev Pesach Shechal B'Shabbos, written by Rabbi Yosef Chaim Sonnenfeld of blessed memory, in section 5 he says that the custom is that on this Shabbos, which is Erev Pesach, which means in a week and a half, you get up early, you daven vatikin, and you start the meal early. And therefore, you can do the second advice for Shalom, which is splitting the morning Suda into 2. One part will be for the morning Suda, the second part will be for Shalom itself, and therefore you can have all Sudas. In the morning davening, according to Ashkenazim and according to most Sfaradim, you say the special haftorah of Arva Hashem, which is the haftorah of Shabbos HaGodol. According to the custom of the Gra, you don't say that haftorah, you say the regular haftorah on Shabbos. Now, those are the general preparations you've got to do on Shabbos. In our next corner, the last corner, we're going to be speaking about preparing for Seder itself and what happens on Motzei Shabbos. Until then, may the blessing of the Torah be upon you. Kol Tuv.